going to run through some few points from the traditional point of view, why this beats any business we have out there today. So the first thing we're going to talk about very briefly is when you consider how much to take you to start this business. Most people, when they want to start a business, the first thing that comes to their mind is, I don't have capital. I don't have capital. And many people, once they get to this capital mountain, their brain shuts down. Because when you look at some other businesses, like I was doing some research recently on what it takes to start several businesses. You can see my screen. If you want to start a good restaurant business, I don't know, this may sound very low, but depending on how large you want your restaurant to be, you're looking at about 700K to 1 million. And even then, you have a lot of things to consider, how you are going to make the business profitable on time. And if you're looking at the bakery, you'll be looking at between as high as 6 million naira, depending on how big you want your bakery to be. And then if you want to start a simple barbering salon, you're looking at between 500K to 10 million. And most of these businesses, as we're going to talk about later, it takes them so much time to even break even, not even to talk of getting profitable. But for us here in PythonSignals, we're looking at a business that can start with as little as $500. And to some people, that's piggy bank money. Some will just walk into a restaurant or walk into a mall, and in a matter of an hour, they can blow like double that amount. So for us, our advantage here in PythonSignals is the low startup cost. Now, from a network marketing perspective, sometimes I tell people that this amount is low, and one of the things they'll tell me is that, hey, Wale, this is not low. This is about 200,000. But if you know anything about network marketing, a lot of companies out there will tell you to sign up with something like maybe $200 or $100, and then every month you have to keep paying a certain amount. And by the time you add up what you have paid from January to December in the name of auto ship or monthly renewal, it has far exceeded even $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at what we have here, that $500 covers you for a whole year. You don't need to rack your brain about putting more money into your business. So from a startup point of view, this is it's what I'll call a no-brainer business. If you're a business person looking for a business to start, this is where you should be. Also, let's look at the issue of risk. How much risk is involved? Business risk is one of the most dreaded considerations that stop lots of people from even daring to start a business. If I start this business, what's the guarantee I'm going to make my money back? What if something goes wrong? What if government policy changes? The failure rate in business, if you go online, you do some research, you realize that 80%, that's almost 100% of all businesses die in 5 years. And so many things come to affect our businesses and cause it to fail. One of the things we have is like government policies. Government policies can change and your business is gone. I mean, we all know what's happening right now in Nigeria with the border that was closed with Benin Republic and so many other policies that could just appear overnight and turn your business around. And before you know it, this business you had a 5-year plan for has died in 2 years simply because government introduced one policy. And then let's not talk about other things like fire, theft, and employee wahala. All these headaches that the normal employee, or let me say the traditional employee, has to put on his head, brings in a lot of risk for him or her if he wants to start a business. But here in PythonSignals, what's the risk? I just sit down and think about it. What's the risk compared to how much money you can make? Your business is not hooked to one government or to a certain location. So in going on, let's look at how much time it will take you to break even. Now, this is the one that really cracks me up. When I hear that, I actually got this from Small Business Chronicles. It's a website where they talk about business, profile a lot of businesses, and it says in conventional terms, it can take 2 or 3 years before. But that doesn't look at this. Can take 2 or 3 years, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're doing poorly. You understand what that means? That means if you break even in 2 years or 3 years, you're doing okay. That's crazy. A lot of businesses break even in 2 and 3 years, and they rejoice that they have done very well. But for us here in PythonSignals, where do you see yourself 2 years from now? By 2, 3 years from now, some of us are done. We're financially done. We're financially okay. We've settled ourselves. We've not just settled ourselves, we've settled our families. You understand? In that 2 to 3 years. So for us here, the advantage we have is break even is not even a problem. People break even in a week. We've seen people that have made about 3-point-something million in 6 weeks. Who does that in business? Well, here in PythonSignals, it's becoming a commonplace thing. People join the business and in a matter of a week or less, they've broken even. Now let's look at the issue of expertise, level of expertise. If you want to start a business, any business at all, if you want to open a bakery, you must know how to bake. If you want to open a fashion institute or a school, you must have background. You might even have certifications and all that. You almost need to have a PhD or have multiple skills or play multiple roles before you can open a traditional business. How many businesses do we know that is one person that is the accountant, is also the CSO, is also the one in charge of the database, is also the one in charge of so many other things? You understand? And you have so many things on your head, so many things on your mind. You rack your brain to make things work for yourself in the business. For instance, now someone tells me I should go into farming business. Yeah, except it's kind of like an investment thing. I don't know how to farm. I don't know how long it takes the crop to germinate. I don't know how long it takes to bake a bread if I want to be a baker or something. So I really need to go and learn a lot of things. But here in PythonSignals, what does it cost you to invite someone to a webinar? What does it cost you to send someone a YouTube video to review and watch and make a decision? So for us here, it's a no-brainer. It's a simple business that anybody, and I really mean anybody, can actually do. Now, this is the one that actually gets me as an online marketer. This is the one that really gets me excited. Like yesterday, I was talking to someone in Turkey. The person doesn't understand English, and we're going to meet today, and he's going to get himself an interpreter. People reach out to me from Australia, from Kenya, from different places. But if we are running a traditional business, one of the headaches is expansion. If I have a branch in Ikeja and I want to open a branch in Surulere, I know how much real estate I will have to invest in and how much logistics I have to involve in before I can expand my business there. But for us here, in PythonSignals, the ease of expansion is so crazy. There is no payment barrier. People can get paid instantly in any part of the world. There's no company registration barriers. Even other network marketing companies have to worry about registering in other places. There's no government registration barrier. You don't have to worry about registering with one agency in one Kenya or in Nigeria or in South Africa or anywhere. Okay, and there's no product registration barrier. Our product, like we heard on Monday, we are selling the future, and this is something everybody in the world has access to. So just to round up, because we want to make this quick, these are some of the things. I know there are so many others that will be going through your mind right now. We have a system where we can start almost at a very low cost. There's low risk, break-even speed. You can break even in your business in a day. How many people have become rising stars in just a week? There's low expertise level and there's ease of expansion. So with that, I'd like to wrap up by saying that PythonSignals, the world is our oyster. We have the world right there in our hands. There is nothing stopping us from going out and building this business big as we want it. Okay, you can stay right here behind your computer and do seminars for people in the US, in Denmark, in Brussels. And guess what? You can sign them up instantly and you can get paid instantly. So in a nutshell, those are just some of the things we have that beats traditional business and gives us a ginger in this business to keep propelling forward in our business. So without taking much of your time, I'd like to hand you back over to Mr. Joke to give us a roundup and let's give us the fire we need to take this business to the next level. So thanks so much, Mr. Joke, for the privilege of having me on board. I'd like to end it there.
Thank you very much, Mr.